Hey everybody, I'm Logan Alec. I'm a CPA. I own Choice Tax Relief. We help folks who owe back taxes to the IRS or their state government. We also help folks who have years of unfiled tax returns. We help them get back in compliance. We do audit representation. We do a lot of stuff. Book your free tax consultation at 866-8000-TAX or visit us at choicetaxrelief.com. But today, I am going to respond in this video to this other video on YouTube called Tax Expert Shares What You Need to Know About the IRS Fresh Start Program. And the reason why this caught my eye, because I see IRS Fresh Start Program here. If you watch my videos on the Fresh Start Program explaining what the Fresh Start Program actually is, you know that my read on how many tax relief companies use the phrase Fresh Start Program is misleading at best. They're using it to mean something it's actually not. The IRS Fresh Start Program was a series of changes the IRS made over 10 years ago to various procedures it has concerning offers and compromise, collections procedures, things like that. Okay? Many tax relief companies have taken that phrase and they've twisted it into something that it's not. It almost sounds like, make it sound like a blanket tax relief program or something like this. So I want to see what this tax expert has to say about a tax expert.
The IRS Fresh Start Program is designed to provide tax relief to select taxpayers who owe money to the IRS, but
kind of true. I don't have a huge problem with that. The Fresh Start Program, but again, this is just a bunch of changes the IRS made over 10 years ago, did make it easier for some people to qualify for the offer and compromise, okay, which is a settlement with the government to pay them less tax than you owe. Okay, so I guess what he said there is technically correct.
There are certain requirements you must meet to be eligible. If you're wondering what those requirements are,
he's right. If we're taking Fresh Start, I don't want to say he's right, but if we're taking Fresh Start to mean tax relief in general, then yeah, there are requirements, and it's based on your financials, right? How much disposable income you have every month, right? After limiting your expenses to the IRS standards, what they think you should be paying for your monthly expenses. How much accessible equity do you have in your assets, right? So yes, there are some requirements, but I want to hear if they describe Fresh Start accurately and these requirements accurately.
You are not alone. Google searches for IRS Fresh Start requirements have increased by more than 150% in the last month alone. So we're looking to help you get some answers. Joining me now is Louis Saya, Director of Operations at Ideal Tax.
Oh, okay. So this guy on the right is a tax expert. Okay, this guy on the left is not the tax expert. He's just the host, I guess.
Louis, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it.
Good morning, Zach. Thank you so much for having me.
We want to start off by getting to know the IRS Fresh Start Program. What is it? How does it work?
It's going to be good.
So the IRS Fresh Start Program is a program that was designed to make it easier for taxpayers to pay back their taxes and avoid federal tax liens.
That's accurate. That is actually true. I mean, a lot of things that the Fresh Start Program did change was concerning liens, right? A lien is a document the IRS files in state and or county records telling the world that you owe the government money, okay? And one thing the Fresh Start Program did, for example, was make it easier to get a lien withdrawn, right? If you get your tax debt under a certain amount and get into a direct debit installment agreement, right? So far so good from this tax expert. Let's see what else he says.
The great thing about this is that even small business taxpayers can benefit from the Fresh Start Program.
Okay.
So how do people know if they are eligible for the program?
That's a great question. So the best thing to do, I would say, is to give us a call, and one of our tax associates will take you through a 5 to 10 minute interview. They'll ask you some questions to determine whether you're eligible for this Fresh Start Program or not.
Okay, this isn't as aggressive as I thought it would be. Again, they're using Fresh Start kind of to mean tax relief, broadly speaking. Okay, so that's not, I guess, technically accurate, but I don't think he's using it like super aggressively.
In essence, as long as you owe $5,000 of debt or more, you will be eligible for the Fresh Start.
I knew it was coming. Okay, so this is a little aggressive. I think he's kind of implying here that, hey, all you gotta do if you owe $5,000, you qualify for tax relief. When that's certainly not really the case. Plenty of folks who owe far more than $5,000 don't really qualify for much of any tax relief at all because they make too much money or they have too much equity and assets. So I kind of see what happened here. I'm guessing, I don't know this for a fact, I'm guessing, maybe this is a paid placement or something on the TV, and he kind of has a script, and he wants people who owe at least $5,000 to call Ideal Tax or whatever company he's from.
Louis, I know there are many different debt relief programs available to people, but how can people know which program is best for them?
That's another great question. So you'll know which program is best for you depending on your financial situation. So for instance, if you're currently going through a financial hardship, you don't want to get set up on a payment plan with the IRS. You want to benefit from like the Offer and Compromise program, which is one of the hardship programs. It all just really depends on your financial situation and what you're able to afford.
That's solid. I mean, it is based on your financial situation. I mean, any tax resolution option, it's based on your ability to pay, right?
For some people, this really truly is a foreign language. Why should they avoid using a tax debt relief company?
Now I'm actually really confused because Ideal Tax is a tax debt relief company. I want to see how the guy from Ideal Tax responds to this.
So a lot of the times, there's companies out there who will finance you to be able to help you. Now, what ends up happening is they'll put you on a loan to be able to pay for their services, and then you end up having to pay this loan back and having to pay the IRS back. So I would avoid these instances because
I think he's kind of figuring out what am I going to say here, because it's like he works for a tax relief company, a tax debt relief company. So I think right now he's just trying to kind of position the company he works for as not like those shady guys over there who, give out these like very high interest loans to pay for their services. Then all they do is, then you got to pay the IRS too, or something like that.
Because if you're struggling to pay the IRS, you're going to struggle to pay this loan back. So you don't want to do that, definitely.
For more information and tips, Louis, where can people go?
Idealtax.com. You can also email customer care at idealtax.com, or you can reach us at 714-751-5200.
Louis Saya with Ideal Tax. Thank you so much for spending part of your morning with us. We appreciate it.
All right. So, not terrible. Not overly aggressive, in my opinion. The $5,000 thing, I think he's just saying, hey, only call us if you owe over $5,000. Because, if someone owes $500, it's like, what's a tax professional going to be able to do for him, right? They're not going to be able to spend much time on their case because, for how much they owe, $500, that would, maybe cover like a couple hours of a CPA's time, right? So, anyway. So it wasn't, terribly aggressive. Obviously the $5,000 thing, that's not anything from the government. That's just Ideal Tax, right? Wanting to weed out unqualified leads. But other than that, I think he gave some he said some solid things. It's based on how much you owe, right? Or not how much you owe, your financial situation and things like that. So, I'm not too mad at that. I've seen a lot worse abuses of the Fresh Start program than that. Anyway, folks, my name is Logan Alec. I own Choice Tax Relief. If you would like to reach out to us, you can book an appointment. Free tax consultation, 866-8000-TAX. Visit us at choicetaxrelief.com. I do have my own videos on the IRS Fresh Start program. There's a couple of them right here on the left-hand side of your screen. And, I guess I'll just see you in the next video, folks. Bye-bye.